Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be chatting about player ratings and also what has really been disappointing me about the Kaizer Chiefs and how they've approached these last few games. Hey, these last few games have been very, very annoying for me because of a lot of things that the Kaizer Chiefs have been doing to approach it. But anyway, we'll get into that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you to those who support the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. And yeah, let's get to it. So, in this channel, I'm going to talk about a lot of things in this episode. And I also want to chat about Bvuma because a lot of you know where I positioned him the other day. If Chiefs were to fire all players, which players could have like a say to stay. But before that, I wanted to say the one thing that is disappointing me. And then guys, like hear me properly, guys. The one thing that disappoints me cool is that Kaizer Chiefs, its biggest problem is that they've decided to waste games in the PSL. What do I mean waste games? When I'm saying this, I'm like playing Sitebe and Mtetwa as our two midfield players is such a scared thing to do, and it doesn't help us get an idea of what the squad has. Because the reason why I say this is because when the game started and we were playing with Mtetwa and Siteb, they play this role where Mtetwa, a lot of the times we find him up on the field. We find him in the 18 area. Like the goal that we scored, Iranga Chivavero. Mtetwa was there in the 18 area and Sitebe was now like the main number 6. But there's been so many moments where that happens, where Mtetwa is like in creative positions, and he shouldn't be because he is not a creative player. And my problem is, in these last few games, where's Samkelo Zwane? I want to ask these questions. Why don't we play Mtetwa as the 6 and then Samkelo Zwane and Mdu Shabalala? Why don't we play Mfundo Vilagaz? Where is Mfundo Vilagaz? Where is he? Why don't we play Mdantsane? Where's Mdantsane? Where's Mdantsane and Mdu Shabalala playing as the 2 number 8? Where are these players? Where are they? Like Usabelo Khatebe, where is he? Where is he? Like these are the questions I want answered, because we shouldn't be playing the same people all the time who we've been losing with throughout the season. So what I'm saying is, it's either you sacrifice Mtetwa or you sacrifice Sitebe. Sitebe can play number 6. Mtetwa can play number 6. So my question is, because Chiefs is going to release Sitebe, or his contract is ending now, there's no reason for us to continue to play him. So let's play Mtetwa. Mtetwa is going to be there for the next couple of years. Play Mtetwa. The next player is going to be there for a couple of years. Mfundo Vilagaz is Samkelo Zwane. The next player is going to be there for many years is Mdu Shabalala. So these are the players I expect us to play. But anyway, let me go to player ratings quickly. Player ratings. Bvuma. The one thing I've often said about Bvuma is that the reason why he will never be a number 1 or a number 2 goalkeeper is that he doesn't know how to position himself. I don't know what it is. I've often tried to look at it and try to figure out like, why can't Bvuma be a number 1? But the guy really doesn't know how to position himself. All the goals he concedes, it's not to say, good team, like the shots are spectacular or the headers are spectacular. It's just that this guy puts himself in a position where a lot of the times he would lose. I often go back to this game a lot of times. I wish maybe one day I'll do this. I'll create a highlights reel for Bvuma's positioning. There was a game against Sundowns where they were shooting shots at Bvuma right by his feet, right next to him, and the guy would dive and he wouldn't move. Like he wouldn't be able to save the ball. And I'm like, hey, this guy's positioning is so bad. Because, example, Ukune, there are a lot of moments where the goals that Bvuma concede, Ukune would get it with his leg, or Ukune would come out and punch it. Like yesterday's one, he hesitated. He did the same mistake that he did against Evanga. They scored the exact same way. Chippa United basically beat us in that game because of Bvuma making this mistake. TS Galaxy, drew today's game because of Bvuma making the same mistake. So Bvuma's rating for today, I'm going to give him a 1. A lot of you know my position is that if Bvuma is ever going to stay at Chiefs, he should never be considered keeper number 1. Why do I say that? He should be considered keeper number 3. And currently, fair enough, he was considered keeper number 3, but we just have bad keeper number 1 and 2. Peterson and Kune right now are not good enough to be our number 1 and 2 goalkeeper. We need better goalkeepers. But anyway, the next one is Frosa. Frosa, I'm going to give a 6.5. He had a decent game at left back. I don't know these people who have been complaining about Frosa at left back. Frosa actually had a decent left back game. He played really, really well at left back. So I don't know why people are complaining. He did well. He supported when he needed to go forward, but we didn't feel like there was no left back. Let me put it to the left-footed left back. So I'm going to give 6.5. Edmilson Dove, he's lunging as the last man. Lunging. I have to give him a 1. He, for me, maybe not a 1. Let me give him a 2. I have to give him a rating of 2. Edmilson Dove, yesterday's game, what I didn't like is that every time he got the ball, it already looked, for me, I know this is my opinion, because when I was having the chat with Umpilo from Amakhosi Nation, Umpilo was saying that he felt Dove had a good game besides those challenges that he made. And from my side, I was like, For me, Dove didn't have a good game according to his standards. Why? Every time Dove got the ball, he kicked the ball out, and that is not a Dove thing to do. Dove finds the man, or he's composed enough to find the right pass. Dove in this game couldn't locate Chiefs players in the right positions, and he was kicking the ball out. And then what happened is that he started lunging. And obviously, Umpilo's argument in that is that Dove was covering a lot of people. But I was saying, because Chiefs doesn't have a lot of structure, a lot of players are covering each other. There's no we don't have a system. So in this thing, it's like Chiefs doesn't have a system to cover each other, so everyone just has to cover everyone. So Dove was not the only one. For example, Mdu was covering. For example, Saile was covering. For example, there were times when Ranga was coming back and covering. There were many moments where people were covering for each other. So it was not a Dove thing. It was what these guys have decided to do because they don't have a playing system. So in that, I'm going to give Dove a 2. He didn't play well, and then he was lunging as the last man. Already, we have centre-back suspension problems, and he created another one. So anyway, there's that. Unjabulelo Ngcobo, I'm going to give a 6. He had one of his better games. He didn't have a lot of mistakes. He didn't get exposed in a lot of positions. Yes, we will say TS Galaxy plays better. The Chiefs doesn't have structure, so he will always not look great, So, but at the same time, he had one of the better games. So 6. Next one is Solomon. Solomon, for me, is always a good player. He always has a standard 6.5 game. I feel like that was his game today. Standard 6.5 game. He had a good game. He was defending. The one thing I like about Solomon's is that even if the opposition get past him somehow, they never get far. Solomon's always recovers. Like, every time DJ Johnny would come and support on the right and get past Solomon's would recover. But unfortunately, Solomon's popped his shoulder and his shoulder got dislocated, so we won't see him for the rest of the season, in my opinion. We won't see him for the rest of the season because it's not worth it playing him now. But anyway, the next player, Mtetwa. Mtetwa had a game of, let me say, 6. I want to give him a 6. Some people would say 5.5 maybe, but it was a 6 kind of game. He broke a lot of play. He did his defensive duties, but then, like I say, he shouldn't be in attacking positions. And the red card Dove is actually Tetwa's fault for having a bad first touch. That is what it is. But yeah, Sitebe, it was one of those games I didn't really see Sitebe much, which is why I don't understand why. Like, yes, when we got the red card, it made sense why they kept him. But before the red card, I don't think we should play Mtetwa and Sitebe. one must go. And when I say one must go, don't bring Castillo, because that's what these guys do. They'll release one and then they bring Castillo. No, one must go. Bring Zwane, Mfundo Vilagazi, or if you don't trust the young ones, bring him Tanzania. That is what I'm saying. But anyway, the next one is Modi. Modi had a good game. Yeah, Shabi had one of his better games. I'm going to give him 6.5. Mdu Shabalala actually had a very good game. I am going to give him 7. A lot of you are going to say, why am I giving him 7? If you watch this game properly, please go and watch this game properly again and watch how many decisions Mdu made. As like almost the leader, Mdu was the one running our attacks. Mdu was running our set pieces. Mdu was running attack. He was running set pieces. He was running how we played. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just go watch yesterday's game or watch someone's highlights and see how Mdu was telling people, play there, let's do this, let's do that. And watch Mdu Shabalala on set pieces. Someone would be coming to say, I want to take the set piece. Mdu would be chasing them away, say, Ufrosa is coming to do the throw-in, or don't worry, I've got it. You know, he would change. He was handling a lot of things, so he was showing a lot of leadership and creativity. It's what I like. I liked what I saw from Mdu Shabalala. Mdu Shabalala is becoming a leader. Mdu Shabalala is starting to take ownership of being the creative, let me say, identity of Chiefs. He has to be. He has to be. So I'm going to give him a 7 for yesterday's game. Saile, it wasn't his best game, but he had good energy, etc. So I'm going to give him 5.5. But like he got substituted. So yeah. And then Ranga, because he scored those 2 goals, 7.5. So like he had very good contribution yesterday. He was always in the box. He had a good header saved. He was just a nuisance for the defense. So 7.5. He was our best player yesterday. So that is what I'll give Ranga for yesterday's game. About Dupree and the rest of the people who came on as subs, I won't really give them ratings. They didn't really have much time to impress. And yeah, it was one of those games. But then Kevin Johnson, for his substitution of Saile and bringing on Ditlogwe, I will give him a rating of 6 for yesterday. Understand me, I don't believe in him as a coach, but that tactical sub was very good yesterday. Maybe let me say I'm going to give him a 5.5 because then he made another blunder by when it was time for substitutions. He subbed Mdu for Dupree at the wrong time before a corner. He should have left Mdu to deal with the corner and then substitute. Would TS Galaxy probably still have scored? Yes, but it's a rule of thumb that rather don't do that, because yeah, you see, if it was a thing of them substituting for like a taller player or more defensive player, then maybe there could be an argument that he's adding a bigger body into the box. But because it was Mdu and Dupree, it was best to do it after the corner. So that's what I have to say for today. Amakhosi for life. Thank you for the support, Amakhosi.